I'm just waiting to go live over there. Okay, so everybody thinks it's super funny. I get all these comments all week long about how I do a little dance. So there's my little dance for you, and there's a little cake for you. How are you? Welcome to the Kellie kitchen. I'm so happy to see you guys. How are we all doing in lockdown? I hope well. And we are going to learn how to make some really fun keto family meals. And I have a lot to share with you and show you. Here's kind of a fun little thing I found. It's super dirty keto. It is not clean keto whatsoever. But I thought these were kind of interesting. They're super expensive too. But these are these cheese puffs, or nacho cheese puffs. And I got them on Amazon, and they taste like little mini Doritos in these crunchy little puffs, and they're really good. So 1 cup of these is 2 grams net carb. Again, it's filled with crap. It's not good, like healthy stuff, but I'd rather that you have this for your Dorito craving than to have the real things. I'd rather that you had nothing and didn't have these, but only 2 grams net carb for a full cup of these, and they're good. Hi everyone, good to see you. So we're gonna get started because we have some really fun things, and we gotta put 2 things in the oven. We are making chocolate mint keto cookies, and we're also making keto lasagna, sort of a new version of a keto lasagna. It's super easy. And then I have some zucchini and feta in the fridge, so I like to saute those and put them together. We're gonna do a little giveaway because it is Christmas time and holiday time, Hanukkah, everything. And so I'm gonna have a little giveaway. So if you, in this video will stay on my Facebook page and run, if you comment below Merry Keto Christmas with where you're from, I'm going to pull, I have 3 gifts. So I've got my workbook. This is a 90-page workbook to take you through a 21-day jump start. So this will be given away. I'm going to give away one of my shirts. I have a white one. I have a white Kellie Kitchen t-shirt, and I also have a lovely Kellie Kitchen apron. I don't want to fully, well, sure, I'll fully undo it. So this is a fun Kellie Kitchen apron. So if you want to win one of those things, comment below Merry Keto Christmas and where you're from. And you know, if you want to share this with your friends and they want to enter the drawing also, and I'll draw tomorrow at noon. And I'll make mention of that again in a little bit. So great to see you guys. Okay. So we're going to get started with our our chocolate mint cookies. And this is a fun cookie because it's still chewy, but it's kind of like a brownie, like a minty brownie cookie. And in my bowl here, I have cocoa powder. I have peanut butter powder. Remember my peanut butter powder? It's plain defatted peanut butter, no sugar added to that. I have some cocoa powder, unsweetened, baking soda, and I also have 2 sweeteners in here. So I have 1/3 of a cup of allulose and 1/3 of a cup of Lakanto monk fruit erythritol blend. Now, I'm already going to get the question. People already want to say, like, can I not use the allulose? This is what allulose looks like in, this is just one of the brands that I use. So people will ask, can I substitute out the allulose? And I say, sure, you can substitute out the allulose. But the reason I use allulose is because it keeps the cookies chewy. So you can, you know, substitute it out and just use all erythritol if you wanted to, or all swerve if you wanted to. But the allulose is what really keeps this cookie super soft and chewy. So that's kind of a little thing about allulose, is that you couldn't use all allulose because then your cookie would just sort of wouldn't come together. So I'm going to put all of my dry ingredients in my bowl here, and I'm just going to make sure I get all the lumps out. We'll get all the dry ingredients first, and then we will add the wet ingredients. This is also a almond flour and coconut flour free cookie. So, you know, if you have, not if you have nut allergies, because we still use almond butter, but you know, almond flour and coconut flour can be expensive, and they can also be a little grainy in our recipes. So I just got all of the lumps out. I'm going to add our wet ingredients now. So I have a cup of smooth almond butter, and I like to have it at room temperature. And if yours is not room temperature, you can put it in the microwave for a couple of, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, because you want the runny consistency. You can see how that is because you want this all to sort of come together. So we have that together. We have a tablespoon of melted butter. We have 2 eggs. 1, 2. And then we have peppermint extract, and we're going to use 1½ teaspoons of peppermint extract. Now, here's the other sort of interesting thing about this recipe is that there are a couple, I'm just going to do ½ teaspoon here. There are a couple optional things on this recipe because there's many steps. So if you wanted this to be the final stuff that you make the cookies, and by the way, the recipe is on the website, thekellykitchen.com, thekellykitchen.com, Kellie with an IE. If you wanted to just make this cookie as just a chocolate mint sort of brownie cookie, this is all you would add in. Just everything that, oh, I'm already spilling stuff, sorry. Everything that we have already added in is everything that you would have in this cookie. However, I like to add a couple extra things, and these extra things are in the recipe. So just remember, if you want to cut carbs, you would not add these things. So we're going to add 1/3 cup of Lily's semi-sweet chips. Get those out of the way. And the other things that are optional are, after these come out of the oven, we're going to we're going to sprinkle with peppermint candies. And I have something to say about those too, because this is kind of, you know, it's not as clean as I typically like to do my recipes. And so the peppermint, while we already have peppermint in our chocolate mint from the extract, I found some sugar-free peppermint candies. Now, the whole recipe calls for just 3 candies. These are made with Splenda, and they also have, they're just kind of not clean. So I like them because they're pretty and there's just a little bit of them. But if you're trying to be super clean keto and trying to really watch every carb, don't add these. And these are just an afterthought. Okay, so we got that out of the way. We also drizzle these with white chocolate. Lily's white chocolate. Lily's is the low carb white chocolate. And we drizzle that after the fact. So it's sort of like this, I don't know, sort of a Christmas feel, if you will. Anyways, if you want to omit them, you can. This makes 24 cookies. Remember I said we add 3 of these. We're going to add those at the end, just so you guys can see what that looks like. We'll smash them up. And I like to use this little ice cream scooper because these cookies the dough tends to be really sticky. If you want to roll them with your hands, just wet your hands and then roll them into balls. I have my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And here's the other thing about allulose. I really, really like using allulose, but it is a little bit of a temperamental low-carb sweetener. And it is kind of expensive. But the other thing about allulose is that it burns really fast. It cooks really, really fast and browns really, really fast. So if you guys keep them in the oven for even 2 minutes longer or a minute and a half longer than this recipe calls for, then you might just burn the bottoms of the cookies. And so just keep an eye on that. And I made that note in the recipe. So for those of you guys that are just joining us, we're having a little giveaway. Comment below, Merry Keto Christmas, and where you're from. You can share this and like it and all that sort of stuff too. I'm going to be giving away, this is my 90-page low carb workbook and fasting, so you can get started. The new year is upon us. And so you can get started on your keto and fasting journey. Sorry, I've got a million things going all at the same time here. Okay, check it out. I have a dozen of these cookies. I'm going to bake them for 8 minutes. And then when they come out of the oven, I will gently smash them down so that then they will form into cookie shape. So we'll do these ones another time, maybe a little. If we have time, we'll do them a little bit later. But I'm putting these in. I'm going to pop those into my oven. Set this timer for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. That is it. Let's see who came to see me. Hi, Sherry and Betsy. It's so fun to see everyone. Hi, Kimberly, Oregon. Hey, I'm from Georgia, Chicago. I should mention for this book, if you live out of the country, and you win, I will send you a digital copy of this because I cannot ship this internationally. If you live in the States, you'll get the hard copy, but if you live internationally, I will send you the digital copy. So if you're from Tokyo or if you're from Australia or wherever you're from, don't despair. You will definitely get a copy of the book. Or if it's the t-shirt or the apron, you will get that. You'll get the t-shirt or the apron if you live internationally, but not the book. Okay. I have got my, let's see, how better is this better? I'm going to keep this here. I'll just turn my camera just a tad. There we go. So I have large skillet over medium heat. I'm going to add just, like a tablespoon of olive oil just to soften that up a little bit. That's my dishwasher. That's not my cookies. They're not ready yet. This recipe, because we're not using carby noodles, we're not using the traditional noodles, we're going to add more meat more beef and a little bit of onions. If you wanted to cut the beef in half, you could add mushrooms, peppers, zucchini, eggplant. I like my lasagna to be less watery, and a lot of the vegetables, they add water. And whenever I've made lasagna, keto lasagna, with zucchini or with cauliflower or with spaghetti squash, it tastes delicious, but it always ends up soupy. And I don't like the soupy sort of stuff. So this keto lasagna has a special, here, let's put we'll put the onions in first, and then we'll add the beef. Put those in. This recipe calls for, instead of noodles, we use deli meat. I know it sounds weird. I've been doing this way of life for 4 years, and I had never made it. It was suggested by Maria Emmerich. She does this recipe a little bit different. She uses sausage and a little bit more sauce. I reduce the sauce And I actually don't love sausage in this version. So I do 2 pounds of ground beef. I have a half of a cup of chopped onion in here. And, messy. And my masher is in my dishwasher, so I'm not going to grab that. I'll just use my wooden spoon like I used to do that. Why not? So I have 2 pounds of ground beef, and we're going to add those in, and we're going to brown that. This recipe is so simple. You can pretty much use a lot of your pantry staples. So I have my Rayo's, marinara sauce. I think it tastes the best, and I like to buy it when it's on sale. I buy it, like a 6 or 12 at a time. And this sauce, I'll only use 1.5 cups. So I don't even use the whole thing because marinara sauce, tomatoes, they still have carbs. So I still want the flavor of the lasagna, but I want to keep an eye on that because I don't want to go overboard with those carbs because I want to still have the onions. And let me say a word about the deli meat. So my first choice would be boar's head deli turkey, just oven roast, because it has the lowest carbs. But this is perfectly fine too. Hillshire Farms has a deli meat also. The key is do not get honey roast turkey. This deli meat does have a little bit of carbs in it. It's 2 carbs per serving. But when we spread this out between 8 servings, it works out so that it's not too much. So I think net carbs, this lasagna is 5 carbs for a very generous size of piece of lasagna. So this is great to serve a family. If you're just cooking for yourself, it is great to have for dinner one night, lunch the next day, freeze a couple of pieces. And it's one of our favorites because it freezes really well and it reheats really, really well. We will add Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese along the way. We're just going to get this ground beef going. And I did not chop my zucchini because I was scrambling. It was a little bit of a rough day. I had somebody yell at me at work, not fun. Wish I could be cooking all day, but I wasn't. I was at work. Glad to still have a job though. So that's kind of, that's my cross to bear. I have a very large casserole dish. This is like a family-sized casserole dish. If you wanted to use a smaller casserole dish, cut this recipe in half, and then it will be 6 smaller servings. But again, cook for however many people you need to cook for, and whoever's going to be eating. So while this is cooking, I am going to mix together our, so I have 12 ounces, right? Yeah, no, 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta. I'm going to just squeeze that right in here. See, anybody can do this. You don't need to be a master chef to make. And then I'm going to do 2 eggs right in there. And we're going to just mix this together. We'll add a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm going to add oregano this time. I don't know if I've actually put that on the recipe, but I like that. I think I did. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. And we will mix the ricotta together with the eggs. And this is kind of cool because when you slather this on and then bake it all, hold all of the noodles and stuff together. Okay, there are our cookies. This is still cooking. Let's grab those. Perfecto. Okay. There are our chocolate mint cookies. You could be done right now. You don't have to do anything else with these cookies. They could be just like that and they would be done. I'm gonna let them cool for just a second because then I'm gonna smash them down a little bit and I don't wanna burn my hand, but those look delish and amazing. Can you see? Yay! And our meat is coming together. It's all browning. In a few minutes, I'm going to add the marinara sauce and just get those flavors together. And as soon as the meat is browned, then I'm going to start assembling our keto lasagna. So do you guys remember regular lasagna? I mean, sure, they have no-bake noodles, but do you remember having to boil the noodles first and then drain the noodles? And then this is actually, I think, so much easier. And I actually think I prefer this over the traditional lasagna. Of course, I'm not Italian, so, you know, I could be just a hick, you know, trying to be this fancy chef. This is my pretend cooking show. I'm going to add, this is a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Where's my, I have a little bit of oregano. I'll do a half a teaspoon of that. Again, this is just whatever flavors you want. And I have the recipe is on the website at thekellykitchen.com. Check out those recipes there. Comment. If you guys have any suggestions of what's going on for you guys for the holidays, let me know. Because I'm always looking for fun, different things that people are struggling with. 2 weeks ago, people were really wanting Thanksgiving stuffing, and so I came up with a stuffing chaffle. That's on the website too. Super easy, but the great flavors of your traditional Thanksgiving stuffing. Delicious. Okay, our ground beef is almost done. I'm going to just let it cook just a little bit longer. And then while that's doing that, I'm just going to see if I can show you. So I'm going to just take the palm of my hand and I'm just going to press down my cookies. And there you go. Okay, we will finish the rest of the drizzle of the white chocolate and the candies as soon as we finish doing this lasagna. So here is our meat. Where's my sauce? I'm going to use, this is 24 ounces, so I'm going to use 1.5 cups of this. Whoops, there we go. It's the perfect amount to use because it gives you the lasagna flavor, but it still keeps your carbs on the lower side. So we'll just mix all of that together. Get those flavors mixed and mixed and mixed. Now here, I don't know how you guys assemble your lasagna, but we're going to do meat first, then our deli meat on top of that. So it creates a layer, and then we'll put our ricotta mixture on top of that. So there is our meat mixture done, and let's go like this. We're going to layer half of this meat mixture right here on the bottom. And anybody can do this. You can even have the kids help you. If you wanted to add sausage instead of 2 pounds of ground beef, you could certainly do that. So I have half of my meat right there. There's that. Now, here's our little trick. So we're going to take our deli meat, and we're just going to layer it onto our lasagna, just like it's noodles, right? And you could do double if you wanted to. If you really are a carnivore meat lover and you really wanted to add more, you certainly could, but you don't have to. And then we'll do just one more on each side. There we go. Okay, so do you guys, let me see if I can hold this up here so you guys can see this. Okay, so see we have a layer. We have a layer of our deli meat. This is turkey. And then we're going to do half of our ricotta mixture. This is ricotta and eggs and garlic powder, oregano. And I'm going to put a pinch of salt. Give it just a tad, a little bit of flavor. Okay, so we're going to do half of this. And then we'll just slather that on there. Cover every inch of your deli meat, edge to edge. And then we will do, I think the recipe calls for 1 cup of mozzarella and some Parmesan on top. So we will sprinkle our mozzarella over the lasagna. There we go. And, oh, Parmesan. So I always usually have Parmesan shredded, but I did not have it. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, grate it ourselves. So I'll just do a little bit of Parmesan all over. There we go. Second layer, right? You can have dinner on the table like in half an hour, or maybe a little bit longer than half an hour. But while this is in the oven, then we're going to make our vegetable. You could add a salad if you wanted to with this. And I'm just going to cover the whole thing. Even my non-keto people in this house love this lasagna. So give it a try. I can't believe it took me so long, 4 years of living this lifestyle, that this is the first, like last week was the first time I really was like, all right, I'll try that. And it's delicious. Okay, I'm going to use this pan again, and I'm not even going to clean it out because I'm going to use it for my zucchini. And why not add those flavors? I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil. We will get back to that in a second because we're going to finish this. We will put the rest of our deli meat, layer that on here, and you could essentially make the focaccia bread. So on my website, thekellykitchen.com, I have a focaccia bread on the website as well. So if you wanted to really make some like an Italian dinner, that is a great, great side dish for this. You can also add a truffle here or there if you want. Make sure that these are all lined up properly. Who came to see me? Did we see anybody else? Sandy? Oh, hi, Sharon. Good to see you. I'm going to say it again, just so you guys know, we're doing a giveaway. My low carb and intermittent fasting workbook. It is a 90-page workbook. I also have a t-shirt and an apron. If you want to participate, say Merry Keto Christmas down below and tell me where you're from. If you're from out of the country, you'll get a digital version if you win. I'm going to pull tomorrow at noon the winners of that. So I've got my second layer of ricotta. going right here on top. My oven is still going at 350. If you wanted this to go even faster, you could do it at 375. You certainly don't want to burn the top of it, but I'm all for speeding things up, so why not? Okay, so we're just spreading our ricotta cheese mixture. And look at how beautiful and hearty. This is 8 very large pieces. You know, like teenage boys, they got to get their protein in. They love the flavors. There we go. I'm going to turn my heat on low just to keep. We're going to do the zucchini here in a minute. Get this out of the way, this out of the way. We'll cover the top with a little bit more mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese. Then we will get it in the oven. If you guys have any questions, I know I'm going fast. Whew. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I read everything. So before we finish, I'll scroll through and see if I can answer anything. And when I get a second, I'll take a look. But I'll answer stuff even later tonight because I go back and I read through and I love seeing where everybody's from and what sort of questions or things that you're cooking that are low carb in your keto kitchen. Okie dokie. There is the mozzarella cheese. Let's do just a little bit more Parmesan cheese. It gives it a nice salty bite right there on top. And this, my friends, is going in. Ooh, that's heavy. That's like a 5-pound casserole. There is our keto lasagna going in the oven. Here we go. We're going to set the timer. I think I'm not sure. I got to look on my recipe sheet how much time I normally put those cookies in. But for tonight, because we're live, we're just going to go with it, okay? Let's get our zucchini going. This is a super easy recipe. It's also very inexpensive. It's also different from cauliflower and broccoli. I hear it all the time. People are so sick of cauliflower and broccoli. So this is just a different side dish. It's also great to have as leftovers. You can mix it in with eggs if you wanted to. And I like to just quarter these first I cut them in half. Like this. First I cut them in half, and then I cut them in quarters. I'm going to do about 3 pounds of zucchini. So then I cut them in quarters, like this. And then I will do just a very rough chop. I try to keep them all about the same size, and so that they all cook all at about the same temp and the same timing. And so our oven, I had that on low. Sorry, I mean my stove, I had that on low. Let's just push those to the side for a second. And, this is reminiscent of how I do a lot of my meal planning. Because I get the question a lot about the meal planning is so expensive. I like to shop my fridge. So I bought these zucchini, I don't know, 5 days ago. And I thought to myself yesterday, I need to use those before they go bad. I didn't really have a plan at the time for them, but I have several recipes that I can add my zucchini to. I just wanted to have them on hand so that I could use them at some point. And so yesterday, when I was kind of shopping my fridge for what I was going to be making for dinner tonight, I had to sort of think about like, what we're having lasagna, so what are we going to have with it? I'll probably do a small garden salad with this also. It just depends. And this is going to be way more than we will eat tonight, but I'm doing this so that tomorrow I don't have to cook again. So this is going to be our vegetable for dinner tomorrow night as well. We're going to have lasagna and zucchini and feta for dinner tomorrow night. You know, a lot of people think that I'm cooking all the time. And, you know, truth be told, I do cook a lot. I really enjoy it, and it's sort of my meditation as well. And I'm very fortunate that I have, you know, people in my house that, number one, eat everything that I bake, and number two, help me clean up. Because cooking is, you know, it can be a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we're on lockdown again, so all restaurants, as much as I would love to support them, I also want to keep in mind that, you know, I want to keep my contact as minimal as possible. So it's, you know, kind of nice that I can cook all of our meals here at home. In my fridge right now, I have coconut shrimp coming next Monday. We are going to make coconut shrimp. I have egg salad, and I have pepperoni pizza. I have pepperoni and egg pizza cups. So I like to keep those things in my fridge so that I always have options, and I don't have to be cooking every single night. I do a lot of the batch cooking on the weekends, and so keep that in mind. You don't have to be a master chef, and even if you're just cooking for yourself, a lot of these things will freeze. Now, the zucchini does not freeze. However, just make as much as you want, and it's great as leftovers. So you just reheat it in the microwave the next day. Okay, I think that's probably a good amount. We're going to let our zucchini do a little bit of sweating. We'll give it a nice pinch of salt, and that will help bring out the liquid. And we'll get this out of the way. And then I'm going to show you how we frost our cookies. Okay, so let's see who's came to see me. Oh my goodness, everybody says hi. Yay! Linda, Lorraine, good to see you. Barbara Fox, Del Marie Carter, Spokane, Washington. That's Vicky. Hi, Vicky. So I was at a funeral this weekend. It was very sad, and we were all distant. But all of my friends that I grew up with, they think that I'm a little bit, this feels a little bit like romper room, because I'm like coming into your living room and saying hi. I don't know. I feel like you guys are coming in to see me. So it's fun. It's fun for me to see you. I turned my heat down a little bit. I was just getting a little aggressive with that. But we're just going to let our zucchini kind of do its thing, and we'll hope that it browns a little bit. I think that'll be nice when it browns, and it'll sweat too. Get all the liquid out. Okay, so check it out. I have, again, this is an optional part of the cookies. This is one serving of those candies. Where did I put them? So I did a little bit of research about where you get these. So I got these just online at Amazon.com, but these are actually found at the dollar store. I don't really have a dollar store near me, and I can't remember the last time I went to a dollar store. Not because I don't like them, but they're not near me. But this, it's by Coastal Bay, and it's sugar-free. Again, it's dirty keto. It's not like clean, sort of healthy. So I wouldn't eat a lot of these because it can cause stomach cramps and pain. But this is one serving is 3 candies, and we're going to use it for the entire 24 cookies. So I feel pretty good about that. It's very minimal. I put them in this little Ziploc bag, and I am going to just do some smashing of my cookies. Woo. I'm going to put this right there. And the other part of these cookies is the drizzle. So I have done this with you guys before. So Lily's Sweets came out with white chocolate chips. White chocolate chips. So we're only going to use a quarter of a cup. A quarter of a cup will frost all of these. And these, the white chocolate chips, they're low carb, but they do have a little bit more carbs than the semi-sweet. In my bowl here, I have melted cacao butter, which if you don't have this, it's okay. You can use coconut oil or you can use olive oil. But I have 2 tablespoons of cacao melted in there, and I'm going to do a quarter of a cup of the white chocolate chips. Now, white chocolate chips can be a little bit temperamental, so we got to babysit them a little bit. We'll do them in the microwave. We're going to watch those for about, these are getting nice and brown. We're going to watch those. They're going to go for about 5 more seconds. And then we got to stir them. I have some forks and stuff over here. So I'm going to stir these up a little bit. You do not want to over microwave your cookies. Your white chocolate chips, because it'll get hard and clumpy. We want them to do the melting on their own. We don't want to cook them. We want them to melt in the warm cacao butter. Cacao butter, I don't know too much about it, but I like it because when you cool your cookies at room temperature, see how my white chocolate is beautiful. When it cools to room temperature, it solidifies and it's not greasy. If you use coconut oil or olive oil, which you can, if you leave your cookies at room temperature, it will melt. So this is what cacao butter looks like when it's not melted. And I keep dropping stuff. And it smells like chocolate. And there's a whole story about this, and I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's really fancy and whatever and special. But I like it for that reason. Pure cacao oil. That's what it is. And it makes my white chocolate nice and drizzly. See that? Okay, so I got to give my zucchini a little stir. Peter's going to be so mad at me. This pan is getting a workout tonight. We're going to have to get the SOS pad out. This is not one of my nonstick pans. Maybe for Christmas, I'll get a very large nonstick pan. Somebody can mention that to Peter. Peter, are you watching? Maybe my kids are watching. That's what I would like for Christmas, a very large nonstick pan. Okay, this is going to continue doing its thing. The zucchini is starting to weep a little bit. I'm going to mention this one more time. If you are just joining me now, I'm doing a giveaway. I wrote a 90-page workbook. This is for low-carb living and intermittent fasting. It is a 21-day jump start. I also am giving away one of my T-shirts. I'm giving away a white one, and I'll give away an apron that's a Kellie Kitchen apron. And I'm going to have the drawing tomorrow. If you live out of the country, you'll get a digital version if you win. Okay, so it has grocery lists and my story and meal planning options and all that sort of stuff. So down below, comment Merry Keto Christmas and where you are from, because I love seeing where you guys are from. Merry Keto Christmas, and I'm going to do the drawing tomorrow at noon. And then I'll send those out, and we'll just have so much fun, right? It's the Christmas season. And I think maybe every week we'll do some sort of a giveaway, right? Okay, so I've got my white chocolate. I've got to do this with a spoon. I can control it a little bit better. So I'm gonna, and you don't have to be a master at this. You could even dip your cookies if you wanted to, you know, do something like this. Do it like that. I like to drizzle. So you just drizzle right over your cookies. And then we will sprinkle. I got a little heavy-handed with that guy. That's okay. Somebody will be very happy with a little extra of the Lily's white chocolate, right? And before you know it, our lasagna is going to be done. Okay, so there's our white chocolate. Now I'm going to take our little peppermint candies. Remember, I just smashed the crap out of these things. I'm going to turn my zucchini down. I don't want to burn this. Yum. I like it when it gets a little brown like that. Now it's time to let those sweat. So I turned the heat down a little bit. And I made a little mess here. So we're just going to go like this and like this. And we will move this way. And we are going to sprinkle each of our little cookies. If you live near me, this is now my third batch of making these in the last week or so. So if you live near me and you would like to try these cookies, I need to get them out of my freezer because, believe it or not, you guys, I don't eat all of this food. I eat some of it. I try all of it, but I don't eat it all the time. And that's really important for you guys to remember along this keto low carb journey, is that you guys we can have these things, but just a little bit and not all the time, okay? It's important to remember that this is a treat also, and we're on this journey of keto and low carb, trying to be healthy. There, my friends, are our chocolate peppermint cookies. And there's my lasagna. Oh, I'm going to do a quick broil. And can you even believe it? We're almost done with our Monday night show. You guys, there's our cookies. Here's our zucchini. The final step of this zucchini, as it is weeping down, is depending on how much feta cheese you want. To this, I will probably add about 1/2 cup of feta cheese. Now, you don't need to add very much more seasoning. I'll add a little bit of pepper. You don't need to add any more salt, but I'm going to add, I get a jumbo container of feta cheese, and I'm going to just sprinkle this over. That's about, let's see. Oh, I keep dropping stuff, you guys. I've got a clumsiness about me tonight. It was a very hectic day. And we will do just some cracked pepper. And then what's going to happen is our feta is going to melt into our zucchini, and it's going to coat it, but it'll stay a little bit chunky in there. Feta is one of those cheeses that melts a little bit, but still sort of holds together. So we will give that a little sprinkle of black pepper. And there you go, my friends. My feta and zucchini side dish. Yum, yum, yum. Super easy. We love this. Okay, I'm not going to eat that right now because I got to check on our, that is almost done. One more time, let me see if I have any questions. Oh, hi, Vicky from Washington. Elizabeth, first time watching. Yay, thank you. Rhode Island. Oh, so your home is Alaska. Oh my goodness. Well, nice to be in that space too, Louisville, Kentucky. So one last time while I'm just waiting for the top of our lasagna to brown up. I am having a little giveaway in the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit. Sorry, we have some non-Christmas people too. I am giving away my 90-page workbook. There, every single day is a simple daily plan, weight tracker, grocery lists, food ideas, little tips and tricks, my story. It's available on Amazon.com if you wanted to. It's also available on my website, thekellykitchen.com. So comment below Merry Keto Christmas with where you're from, and I'm going to draw tomorrow. And if you're out of the States, then you'll get a digital copy if you win. And I also have a t-shirt just like this one, but in white, and I have an apron with the Kellie Kitchen on it too. So we'll have 3 winners tomorrow. Okay. Oh, so exciting. Now, I've been dropping a whole bunch of stuff tonight, so let's hope to goodness I do not drop this baby. Oh, they're my friends. It's only 7:06. I started with you guys at 6:15. That is less than an hour, and I have dinner made, right? This is my keto lasagna. It is so heavy. This feels like 10 pounds. I'm going to let this sit for a little while, maybe about 10 or 20 minutes, and then this will slice into 8 beautiful pieces of lasagna. And that recipe is on the website. Thank you so much for joining me. It was really great seeing you. It's always a treat for me to hear from you, see where you're from. I love the energy that you guys give me, and it helps me be able to produce fun stuff for you. If you're just joining me, I just saw someone say that they're just joining me. We're having a giveaway, my workbook, and a t-shirt and an apron. Comment down below, Merry Keto Christmas with where you're from, and I'll do a drawing tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll go through them later tonight after I eat my delicious dinner. One more thing. I totally forgot about this. You guys know how I love Rosette, and I love Rosette stuff. So Rosette was so unbelievably kind, and she has given the Kellie Kitchen Peeps a discount code. So if you go to rosettesmix.com, rosettesmix.com, use promo code RKK10. That's Rosette Kellie Kitchen. Rosette Kellie Kitchen, RKK10. In the promo code, you get 10% off. She's got pumpkin spice. We've got bagels. We've got yellow cake. We've got chocolate protein bars. And my newest favorite is her coconut macaroons. So we'll be making those next week. We're going to do sort of a coconut theme next week. We're going to be doing coconut shrimp and coconut macaroons, I think. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. And bye-bye.